Hello my friends! Today we'll talk about the different kinds of retribution, because I see so many people picking the wrong ones when jungling. So if you're a player who just randomly choose one, you really want to pay attention to this video to improve your role as a jungler. Let's get started. So let's first talk about the retribution in general, which helps to determine which one you should pick and to make sure you use the battle spell on the most efficient way. Retribution should be used when you fulfill the jungler role, and what this spell does is that it deals true damage on a jungle monster, minion or the turtle and lord. You can cast it every 35 seconds, and at level 1 you deal 600 damage and at level 15 1720 damage. Choosing this battle spell also increases your damage against creeps by 40%. Adds 15% damage reduction in your own jungle during the first 2 minutes, while you don't share any gold of minions when allies are nearby for the first 5 minutes. You can also accumulate stacks by killing jungle monsters or making kills or assists. Reaching 5 stacks enables you to cast Retribution on enemies, which we'll discuss a bit later, and reaching the maximum of 15 stacks adds 10 physical attack, magic power and 100 max HP. So Retribution lets you deal increased damage to jungle monsters, so you can clear them faster. It's also used to secure a monster, the turtle or lord. And this is where I see people making mistakes. A lot of junglers wait with using Retribution when the monster is almost killed, so they can secure it with their battle spell. Well, this in some occasions might be a smart move. In most situations it isn't, and I'll let you see with a calculation why. Let's say you deal 1050 damage with Retribution, with a cooldown of 35 seconds, and casting it right when it gets off cooldown will add 30 true damage every second. But now it gets off cooldown and you want to wait with casting it when the jungle monster is almost killed, which adds, let's say, another 5 seconds before casting it. Your increased damage from Retribution per second is now 1050 divided by 40 seconds, which is a bit over 26 damage per second. So what I try to explain is that the longer you wait to cast it, the less damage per second this battle spell adds, which decreases your potential farming speed. Of course, there are some situations where it benefits you more to be careful and secure it, when enemies might steal the monster from you. But like for 90% of the time, this isn't the case and you're wasting damage by waiting to cast it. Then we have the upgraded battle spell, which you get after getting 5 stacks. From this moment, you can cast it at heroes too. However, during early game, you really shouldn't. As a jungler, you should invest your time during early game to dominate in late game. Therefore, I suggest you don't use Retribution on heroes during the first 8 minutes or so. Just keep Retribution for the jungle monsters to farm as much as possible. So we have 3 different Retribution kinds. Ice Retribution, which is the blue one, Flame Retribution, which is the red one, and Bloody Retribution, which is the purple one. I don't know why they didn't call it Blood Retribution to get in line with the other ones, but okay. Despite which one you choose, they all deal the same damage to jungle monsters. The only difference lies in the effect they have on a hero. Let's analyze them one by one and find out which one fits your hero best. So we start with Ice Retribution. This spell deals 100 true damage and steals 72 to 100 movement speed from the enemy hero for 4 seconds. The amount of points you steal is determined by your hero's level. So the cool thing about this spell is that it steals an absolute amount of movement speed instead of a percentage, which skills and items do. The benefit of an absolute amount is that it's way more effective against enemies with relative low movement speed, since you steal a bigger percentage. So the spell should be chosen whenever you play a melee hero jungler that might have a hard time coming close to his target and can use the extra movement speed bonus to chase them. While most assassins have excellent mobility, some of them only have like one skill to move towards the target. If it's on cooldown, it can be hard to chase them. Also, most fight heroes aren't famous because of their great mobility. These ones can also benefit a lot from extra movement speed while decreasing it of the enemy. I therefore suggest you pick this spell on heroes like Alpha, Karina, Zilong, Freya and Helkert. It can just make the difference between making a kill and letting it escape due to low movement speed. Then let's move on to the next one, the Flame Retribution, which works similar to Ice Retribution. It deals 100 true damage to an enemy hero, but it also steals 58 to 100 physical attack and magic power. During a recent update, we were introduced with Hybrid Attack, which adds magic power or physical attack based on which one is higher. But this spell steals them both, which means you can get up to 100 physical and magic attack bonus. Well, this is a nice bonus to have. It's particularly powerful on certain heroes. So to start with, this ability is great on the heroes who really benefit from an as high as possible physical attack or magic power, and who don't need Ice Retribution because they already have decent mobility. Heroes like Natalia, Hayabusa, Harley and Lancelot are just a few of the many examples of heroes who really benefit from some extra power. But these aren't the heroes where this spell is made for. The ones who benefit the most for sure are the heroes who deal hybrid damage. There are only a few of them, but these heroes need Flame Retribution. Like Bane for example. He can be played as a magic or physical damage based hero. By picking this spell, he benefits from the physical attack as well as the magic power. Another example is Kimmy, who works the same. Her abilities are partly physical and partly magic damage. Also Esmeralda is a great example. Her mobility is perfect, so she can easily choose this battle spell to get some extra damage when casted against an opponent. Make sure if you play one of those heroes, you definitely should pick this battle spell. But also other ones can make use of it of course. Then we have only one left, which is the Bloody Retribution. Just like the other two, this one deals 100 true damage, but it also steals 250 plus 20% of the caster's extra HP. So for most junglers, this really isn't an interesting battle spell. Often you play a fighter or assassin as a jungler, and they usually don't build a lot of HP. But there are of course also tanks available who can be played as a jungler. So for example you have Basha, Akai, and I even saw someone playing Hylas as a jungler. Those ones can build lots of HP, and this is when Bloody Retribution gets interesting. So let's say for example you build 4k extra HP, this item deals 250 plus 800 damage, which totals on 1050 damage on the enemy, which is quite high for a battle spell. This way you can increase the damage of your tank without needing to buy any offensive items. This retribution shouldn't be used unless you build a significant amount of HP on your hero. So this was a quick lesson about how you should use retribution. Just make sure you pick the right one at the right hero and you will be just fine. As always, thank you for watching and I'll be seeing you again in the next guide.